guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you read in the title, I'm gonna do some breakfast if you're stressed in the morning and still want to eat something wholesome, vegan and healthy to keep you full in the morning. And also, excuse my voice, I sound worse than I feel. I actually feel pretty good. I've had a cold for a few days, but now I'm feeling much better. So I'm gonna do 5 breakfasts, and the first one I'm gonna do is a very quick, speedy stovetop granola. This quick stovetop granola is, the recipe is in my app. It looks like this. So the ingredients you need is some rolled oats, some walnuts, coconut flakes and some pumpkin seeds. And now we're just gonna turn on and let this toast on medium heat. You don't want to burn them, but until the oats are slightly golden. So either you do this one in advance or you do it quick in the morning. Either way, this one is super quick to make, and as I said before, make sure so that the oats do not burn. If you like the nuts more toasted, you can add in the nuts and the seeds first and toast them for a bit, and then add in the oats to not burn the oats. So when you've added 2 tablespoons of maple syrup and a half teaspoon of cardamom, you give it a stir and then you let it cook for about 1 more minute on medium heat. And then you let it cool for a bit so that nice clusters can form. You can serve this granola onto smoothie bowls or just with plant milk, or as I like, with some coconut yogurt. So you just add coconut yogurt and then you add the granola on top and then you're ready to go. Next quick recipe we're gonna make is a scrambled tofu toast. It may sound complicated, but it is not, I promise. This recipe is also in my recipe app. And I've already prepared back here. The main ingredients is tofu. So we're gonna crumble the tofu. You can either use your hands or you can crumble tofu with a fork. But I find it goes way quicker if you just use your hands, so that's what I'm gonna do. So the tofu should look like this when you're done crumbling. And by the way, I'm making for 2 servings, so this is 250 grams of tofu. And then we're gonna add in 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, and then a half teaspoon of turmeric, a half teaspoon of onion powder, and also a half teaspoon of sea salt. Adding some water so that the spices can boil into the tofu. You want to cook this on medium heat to high heat until the water has evaporated. Right now it doesn't look that good, I will have to admit that, but just wait a minute, have patience, and this one will turn out amazing. Okay, this is how it should look like. So yeah, I'm just gonna add this one onto a toast. I love adding it to sourdough, both because how it tastes and also because it's actually fermented, so it's easier on the gut if you are sensitive to wheat. Okay, so for our third breakfast, I'm gonna make a smoothie. Usually I love having a smoothie as a snack, but I'm gonna make this one more filling so that you can keep full for longer. And I love smoothies because they're so versatile and you can put in like any greens you want and you barely taste it if you have a sweet fruit as a base. So I have frozen banana and frozen mango. You can also use fresh mango or fresh banana, but I like having a smoothie cold because it feels more refreshing. Then as a green, I'm gonna add in some fresh spinach. You can use whatever greens you like. You can add in celery, you can add in kale. And then to make the smoothie more filling, I love adding oats to my smoothies. So I'm gonna add a third of a cup of oats. And to make the smoothie complete, like with fast carbs and protein, I'm gonna add in some protein powder, and this one is from Vivo Life as always. So Vivo Life has 2 ranges, it's Perform and Ritual. This one is Ritual, and the main difference between Ritual and Perform is that this one is basically just pea, quinoa and hemp protein with a little bit of a Madagascan vanilla powder, so it doesn't have all of those other superfoods that are added into the Perform powder. So the reason I use Vivo Life protein powders is because they test all of their protein powders for heavy metals, and there are no like strange ingredients such as fillers, there are no sugar. And especially if you're gonna use a product every day, like I use this one almost every day, I'm very picky about what the ingredients are. And the ingredients in this one is so good, and I feel very confident in recommending this one to you. So I'm gonna add a scoop of this one into the smoothie, so it tastes a little bit like vanilla and adds a protein boost. And 1 scoop of this protein powder is 20 grams of protein, just as the Perform. And if you're interested in reading more about this one or try this protein powder, I will leave a link down below so you can read more. And you can always use my code 5SECHealth to get 10% off your first order at Vivo Life, and the code is on every product on their web shop. I also added some plant milk in the bottom to make it easier to blend, and depending on how runny you want it, you can add in more plant milk as you go. So now I'm just gonna blend this up. Okay, now this one is really thick, but I love thick smoothies. And as I said, you can add in more plant milk if you like. For the next recipe, we're gonna make a grilled sandwich. Sounds good, right? So we only need 3 ingredients. We're gonna need some toasts, and I'm using a whole wheat toast. And then we need a banana, a ripe one, so that it's sweet. And then we also need almond butter or peanut butter if you like that better, or if you are not allergic, you can use sunflower seed butter or also tahini. So you have 2 options. You can either buy almond butter, or if you live in Sweden like me, almond butter is so expensive, so I made my own, and it's super easy. So you preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius, and you take 2 cups of almonds and put them on an oven tray lined with parchment paper, and then you bake the almonds for about 10 to 15 minutes. Watch out so that they don't burn. And when they're done, you have to cool them off a bit, and then you just place them into a blender, like a high-speed blender or a food processor, and then you gotta have some patience. So you're gonna blend this until it becomes creamy, and no oil is needed, no water is needed, no liquid is needed at all. It just becomes creamy, and that's the amazing thing with homemade almond butter. And you also need a sandwich grill. If you don't have that one, it's okay. You can make this on the stove as well. In a pan, you just add a little bit of oil and you cook the sandwich on both sides. So here we have our little sandwich making station. 2 breads and almond butter and sliced up banana. And as I'm speaking, I remembered that cacao nibs actually would fit very well in this, I think. So let's try that. When you've done your sandwich and put it together, you just add it into your grill or your pan, and I think it takes about 2 to 3 minutes, and check it out sometime to see that you don't burn it. So if you're really stressed in the morning and don't have time for any breakfast making at all, this one is perfect because you make it the night before, which I also did. So I've already made it. I added a 1/4 cup of rolled oats, 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, a 1/2 cup of coconut yogurt, and then a 1/2 cup of plant milk, a 1/2 tablespoon of maple syrup. Then you stir that around and you put it in the fridge, keep it there overnight, and then in the morning it's ready. So you can just eat this as it is, just straight up, or you can add in some toppings. My favorite toppings on this one is strawberries, and I'm also gonna use the almond butter that I made earlier today. This one is packed with fiber, it's packed with proteins from the oats and also the chia seeds, and also omega-3s from the chia seeds, and it's very filling, and yeah, it feels very satisfying to eat this one. That was all of the 5 easy and quick breakfasts to make when you're stressed in the morning, or if you're just a little bit lazy. Let me know in the comments down below if you found a new favorite to try out. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up so that I know you like these type of videos, and also subscribe if you haven't, and until then, we'll see you in the next one.